Hey everyone, thank you so much for clicking on another one of my reviews. It really does mean the world to me that you guys are willing to take a few minutes out of your day to consume my content. My name is Caleb Janssens and I review everything that gets released on Netflix. And today we're going to be talking about MerPeople, which was a documentary series I was not expecting in the slightest, ultimately capturing the entire culture, or rather sport, of the MerPeople. My dog just ran across the camera. So ultimately, yes, MerPeople follows the life of everyday people who transform themselves into mermaids and basically pursue the culture, this new age culture that they've created around the sport. Definitely a documentary I wasn't expecting to enjoy, and I'm still continuing to make up my mind about it. Ultimately, we follow through several different people, different individuals, different characters, if you want to put it that way, as we follow them on their journey in this professional world of mermaiding. And what is very interesting about this, it is a career industry that I knew existed, but I wasn't expecting the many different avenues that it can take. We focus on mermaiders who focus on birthday parties, and ones who work at aquariums, one who specifically sets up aquariums and focus on creating mermaid-like events. So it's an incredibly diverse environment, and that's what took me by surprise. So things I look for most when it comes to documentaries is firstly education, and then secondly entertainment. Usually I find myself, if I know I've enjoyed a documentary, it's because not only have I learned a bunch of stuff, but I'm wanting to tell as many people as possible about what I've learned as well. Because not only have I learned something, but I've learned it in an incredibly fun way. And every documentary I've watched over the last calendar year, I feel like I've actually done that in some capacity, whether it's talking to my wife or talking to my coworkers. I always bring up the fact that I've watched this documentary and I learned so and so. And unfortunately, I feel like this is the first documentary where I watched it from beginning to end where I haven't felt the urge to tell anyone, like, oh my word, did you know about this career called mermaiding? Did you hear about this person fulfilling their dreams to do this? And so in many ways, I have to say, as much as I learned a lot, the entertainment factor wasn't there. There were many sequences that I was watching, specific scenes have been cut entirely, and it wouldn't change the flow of the documentary at all. This is a 4-episode documentary, with each episode lasting about 40 to 45 minutes. So that is a massive chunk of your time. And so if you are into the more fantastical world, then this is definitely a documentary that you can enjoy, but I found myself struggling a lot. I think what put the bad taste I had with this documentary in my mouth is actually the specific way that the series started. I have edited quite a few different wildlife documentaries, so I know how to structure documentaries in a way that keeps the viewer engaged. And the way the show started really put me on the back foot. I really wasn't putting myself in a situation where I feel like I could enjoy this series. And that came out of a point of this forced idea of conflict, especially in regards to these merpeople trying to swim in the water and the chlorine levels are too high. That to me felt like such a superficial issue. Again, my dogs are going crazy. That felt like such a superficial issue to start off an entire series about, especially when you watch more of the show and you realize the very true real life issues that merpeople do face. So starting off the show in such a trivial way basically put a damper on the rest of the series because you started it off in such a weak fashion. Another part of the series I didn't necessarily enjoy, but is something that you can't really avoid in documentaries, is scenes that are so clearly acted. We have real life people trying to tell their stories, and I know this again because I've filmed some documentaries, sometimes you have to refilm sequences. And you can tell exactly what sequences are refilmed in the show, because unfortunately, the main characters, the people in these documentaries, they aren't actors. So when they're having to reimagine these scenes, you can tell straight away. And it kind of just takes you out of the situation, out of your immersion, because you know what you're watching isn't real. And that's what you want out of a documentary. You want to watch something that's real. If there's something that I really truly enjoyed about this series though, it's going to sound like I'm just throwing a bone out there and kind of hoping that it floats. No, I think the intro sequence to the show is actually amazing. There were some beautiful visuals, and thankfully those visuals actually do carry over throughout the rest of the show. We do have these incredibly well shot scenes where we see these people truly enjoying their passion, swimming in different tanks or aquariums or creeks, and you can see that they're seriously having fun. And when it's filmed well, you can see the joy on the performance faces. And that was really cool to observe as a viewer. But again, maybe this documentary just wasn't made for me. Maybe I'm the completely wrong target market, the incredibly wrong demographic. but I really struggled to just watch the show and enjoy it. Yes, there were many storylines I actually found myself thoroughly enjoying, and there was a lot that I really did learn. But at the end of the day, as I mentioned earlier, I didn't go out of my way to tell anyone about this documentary series, and maybe that's fine. Maybe this is a documentary series where I don't have to go tell everyone that I've recently watched this and I learned about this. Maybe it was just good for self-improvement. And if that's what you're looking for in a series, a documentary series, be it that. So if you're just looking to learn something new, then this is definitely a documentary series for you, because I can guarantee you there's a lot that you're not expecting to learn about this fantastical world of mermaiding. But if you're someone that's looking for something a little bit more oomphy, I know that's not a real word, but if you are looking for something with a little bit more oomph, then maybe stay clear of this documentary. But guys, thank you so much for watching this review. If you did enjoy it, please give me a like. I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel as well for more content just like this. If you have watched this show, if you're going to watch this show, then please let me know your thoughts by commenting down below, and I hope to see you again in another review.